Hello and welcome. In this video, I remade Geometry Dash inside of Unreal Engine with RTX On. If you don't know, Geometry Dash is a music-themed action platform game where your task is to control a square and jump through a series of spiky obstacles to reach the end of the level. If you hit an obstacle, you have to restart the whole level. In this game, it's important to make sure your timing is correct, otherwise you will likely keep on dying. It can be quite frustrating, although it's a pretty fun game. And if you're interested in creating your own game with high quality graphics, you may be interested in today's video sponsor, Core. Core is a new PC gaming platform that allows you to create, play and share video games powered by Unreal Engine. You can build single player or multiplayer games, or you can reimagine content shared by other creators. It is completely free to download and available from the Epic Games Store. The best part about it is that it handles the difficult part about writing games. It has built-in multiplayer, so you don't have to worry about coding and setting up servers. They have thousands of free music, sound and art assets that can be used to help you build your game from scratch faster than ever before. And if you want to, Core still gives you the option to create your own game logic in Lua. By using the Core Perks program, you get a 50% revenue split. This is double the amount of Roblox's revenue share. Many Core creators have been able to pay their bills, buy their dream cars and quit their day jobs with the help of the Perks program. Use the link in the description and pinned comment to download Core for free and start cranking your own game today. To get started, I opened up Unreal Engine and started with the side-scroller project template and made sure to enable ray tracing. If you're unsure, ray tracing is a graphical rendering technique that can be used to enhance lighting and shadow effects in 3D applications. I'd never enabled ray tracing before, and it took like 20 minutes for my computer to load this project. After this had loaded, I decided that I'd first start by making the basic mechanics of the game. I deleted the default player character and replaced him with a cube. Next, I needed to make it so that the cube would constantly move. This was simple to set up. Then I wanted to add the effect so that every time the player jumped, the cube would rotate. I then made the cube a simple face like the character in Geometry Dash. At first my character was looking kind of scary, but I figured that I'd be able to fix this later on. After that, I needed to create some obstacles for my player character. In Geometry Dash, the game had two main obstacles. One of them was spikes. When the player ran into these, they would instantly die. So you had to make sure that you time your jump correctly so that you could get over these. I made a simple spike model in Blender and then I put it inside of Unreal Engine. Then I made it so that whenever the player would overlap these spikes, they would die and it would restart the level. The second obstacle were walls. In Geometry Dash, if you hit a wall straight on, you would instantly die, although you could still jump on top of these walls. In order to make that system, I wrote some blueprints so that if the player ever stopped moving, they would instantly die, because when the player hit a wall in my game, their speed would be reduced to 0 and they would stop moving. Also, just like in Geometry Dash, I made the game keep count of how many times you died in the level. Next was one last step. I decided that I'd be recreating the first level of Geometry Dash, Stereo Madness, and in this level, the player gets a spaceship halfway through the level, which they use. I wanted to add this feature to my game, so I got an image of the spaceship from Google and modelled it in Blender. Thankfully, it was not too complex to model. Then I made these portals. When the player first hops through them, they'll get the spaceship. This was all good, although I wanted to change the system up a bit and make it so that the player would lean in the direction he was facing. I first tried to make this system and ran into some issues, although in the end I got the spaceship to lean in the direction that the player was moving. Now that I had done all this, I needed to make it so that the game would look realistic. I found this website called freeppr.com and they had a bunch of great looking material textures for metals, floors and different types of surfaces, so I downloaded these and hooked them up to my player character to make him look a bit more realistic. Although the gold texture did not look as good on him as I'd wanted it to, so I found this random gold texture on Google and I used that instead. I then made it so that the player's eyes and mouth glowed by bumping up the emission in the character's material, which controlled his eyes and mouths, and I set up my player character. Next was the spikes and walls. This was a pretty similar process to the character. I just replaced the default textures, which I was currently using, with some more realistic ones. Then, to top this all off, I added some fancy particles from the Unreal Engine Marketplace from some free Marketplace monthly assets that I claimed a while ago. I then applied these to my character, giving him a cool trail effect when he died and when he was just moving. I then also added some trail particle effects for his spaceship and the portal that he would use to get the spaceship. With this, I set up all the cool mechanics that I wanted to do for this game. Next, I mapped out the first half of the level Stereo Madness and remade it inside of Unreal Engine. And with this, I had recreated Geometry Dash with RTX in Unreal Engine. Check out some gameplay of me playing the first half of the level in my game. If you want to play this, I'll be leaving a link in the description where you can download this game on itch.io. That's all for this video. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to download Core for free using the link in the description.